And this is In My Own World Tarot. And this is just a quick Saturday morning message for those of you up with me, for those of you watching the playback. Hey, 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 hey. If you're new to my channel, hey, how are you doing? Hope everything's doing well. I pray before each and every one of my readings so that way my energy is protected, your energy is protected as well. I also may cuss. I cuss a little, cuss a lot. I don't know. It all depends on how I feel. When I was just waking up, after saying my prayers and everything and doing my morning routine, I kept hearing karmic completion. And then it's like, I was like, what are you talking about? And you ever talk to someone, you're having a conversation with someone over the phone or through a text, and you just get that feeling, you're like, this is the last time I'm going to talk to this person. Or if it's someone from your past, you're like, wow, this person hasn't changed. And not that you're judging this person or that you think you're better than someone. It's just like, wow. And then you look at yourself like, what in the world was I seeing in this friendship, this relationship? Why was I dealing with this person? And the reason why I want you to ask yourself that is because I want you to think about, especially since we're in Mercury retrograde right now, I want you to think about what energy you were in when you first met that person. What state in your life were you in when you first met these certain people to where you are now, to give you that feeling of what in the hell? Like, like you get that, just like that moment, you're like, huh? Because I'm gonna give you guys an example of what I'm talking about. Cause I know you're like, Crystal, what are you talking about? This is what I'm talking about. So I was having I had a conversation the other day with someone, and in the conversation, I called, they pick up the phone. They say, oh, I'm busy right now. Text me. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, no. What was the point of you answering the phone if you couldn't talk? That's just how I think naturally. I'm not going to answer the phone if I can't speak to you right now. Or I'll call you back. Or I may send a text saying, hey, I'm busy. That's a narcissistic tendency when people do that. I just wanted to point that out to you. This is not taking a victim seat or anything. I'm just letting you guys know how to really pick it out, because we always float around the words narcissistic, toxic trait, or people who just really want attention to be chased. So you have to look for certain things. And then after that, I was like, no, thank you. Then 5 minutes later, I get like a text that says, call me back. Huh? And at that moment, I was like, no. Because I'm like, and then the normal me, and I was like, and then I called back. And then at that moment, I was like, why? What? You just fell into a trap of chasing someone without even knowing that you did it, because that's the old you. That's like when you're digging into your shadow self or your toxic trait, wanting to be needed or acknowledged. That's a codependency trait. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Everybody calm down. Because when I thought about it, I replayed, I was like, wait a minute. If someone's busy, okay, they answer the phone and say, hey, I can't talk to you right now, text me. When that person gets unbusy, they should call you back. Not they text you, call me back. That's someone who wants you, feels like they are greater than, that you should be chasing them. And then you have to look at, and this is not you comparing their life, it's like, okay, what have you achieved and what have you done to this level to make you think that you still have to chase someone who is honestly beneath you? And a lot of times we don't take those moments. And I really need you guys to understand, especially those who are deep into spirituality, is that taking those small moments that happen to you and analyze them, not over analyze them, just taking like a few moments, not just repeating it in your mind over and over again. No, analyze it one time, get to your conclusion, and don't do the shit again. That is what growing is. It's not replaying a situation over and over in your head, because if you replay the situation over and over in your head, you're now traumatizing yourself. But at that moment, when you get that aha moment and you're like, huh? I want you to take that moment right there. Take 1, 2, 5 minutes, analyze it, come to a conclusion of how you're going to move forward, if you're going to continue dealing with this situation, if you're going to stop that shit right there and be done with it. Be done with it. Don't think, oh, should I do this? Should I keep allowing this? Was I wrong? No. Analyze it right then, come to a conclusion, and stick with it. Stick with what you're going to do. Because when you stick with something, even if you're wrong, and I say this all the time, even if I'm dead ass wrong, I'd rather be dead ass wrong from going with my intuition and listening to what God told me, and then, okay, if I got to go back and something happens later, oh, well, so be it. At least I followed my first instinct because I trusted. I trusted the inner guidance and I trusted myself. That is a huge lesson that I had to learn and that I'm still learning. And I want you guys to really start doing that too as well, is that you just got to trust it. And sometimes you're going to be wrong. That's what life is about. Life lessons, getting those life lessons, because sometimes you will be dead ass wrong, but you listen to yourself. You listen to yourself. And yeah, you may have to go back and you learned a lesson, like, okay, I can't do that shit again. I was wrong on that. But at least you trusted your own intuition at that moment. And you should be proud of that. You really should. You really should. A lot of people go through life or this spiritual journey thinking, oh, I'm woke now, so I should make no mistakes. The hell are you, or are you not a human being? Human beings make mistakes. You're supposed to make mistakes. If you don't make mistakes, you don't get the lesson and you don't get a chance to evolve. Make mistakes, not saying purposely make mistakes. I'm talking about accidental mistakes. But I'm not talking about repeating the same mistake either. Make the mistake, learn from the mistake, and the next time, because that situation will happen again. It will. May not be with the same person, may not be with the same place, may not be with the same thing, but it will happen again. But this time, you know how you're going to respond, and you know what you're going to do to elevate yourself. Karmic completion. And be done with it. I'm not saying you got to be an asshole. You don't have to be arrogant. No. You're confident in the decision that you decided to make because you trusted yourself and you trusted what God told you to do. That is karmic completion. Okay? So, let's go ahead and get into the reading and see this energy on this beautiful Saturday before my crumb snatcher wakes up. All right? Let's see. Great God in heaven, please allow me to tap to the energy of the collective. Any messages that they're needing, any guidance that they're seeking today. Please allow me to relay these messages to them as accurately and clearly as possible. Please protect my energy during this reading, protect their energy as well. Please continue to bless our lives with peace, abundance, prosperity, and protection. Thank you. Amen and ashe. Yeah, man. You ever, those situations where you're like, damn, they almost got me. It's like those situations. And when you realize that you have almost put yourself in a situation where you almost got God, you're like, oh, snizzity in the snap. Hold up. Pause. You know, everybody stop. Yeah, you gotta have those moments with yourself, man. On this channel, that's what we work on. Come on, God. I mean, I swear, y'all, anybody else be feeling like God be showing out on them like all the time? We got healing. That's all you do is show out on me, man. That's all he do is show out. I swear. Healing. Man, I've been waking up every morning. I be like, yo, you in abundance. I tell you. I wake up every morning, I be like, God, you showing out. You showing out. That's how I wake up. And I had to learn to do that. Like, I really had, even though I grew up in the church. I did. I know all the gospel songs. I know all the scriptures and everything, but to really understand the purpose of having faith in God and the higher power is so beautiful, you know. And I know a lot of you who come to tarot, you had to start with spirituality from having some type of connection to religion. And if you didn't, that's okay too. But it's like you had to see, and not saying religion is wrong, it just may not have been right for you. You know, religion is not wrong for whoever it fits for. But you had to see a difference. It's like you have to experience what's wrong with you to know what's right with you. If that makes sense. Y'all need to understand what I'm saying. It's like I'll give you an example. I had to realize you have to cut, like when you're on a diet or when you get sick, you start cutting things out and adding things to see what works for you. That's what a doctor does. They test your blood and everything. That's how I found out, like with gluten, I really cannot handle gluten. But first I thought I had to go vegan, but then I was going vegan, but I was still eating flour and I was still getting sick, like really sick still. And I was like, what? Then I changed from, regular white flour, whatever the flour is called. And I was like, okay, let me try almond flour. I started feeling better. And then I was like, okay, I switched from vegetable oil to canola oil. And I was like, okay, I'm starting to feel better. And then it was, what did I eat? I had ate pizza, but it was gluten-free pizza. But with everything else on it, and I felt fine. I had to do trial and error to feel, I'm like, okay, it's gluten. It's not meat. It could be, it could be dairy or whatever, but you're not supposed to eat a lot of dairy, but it's gluten. But I've been knew a long time ago, the doctor's like, you can't handle gluten, da, 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 da. But the human mind, we're going to do what we want to do until you can't get out of bed one day and your back hurting. And you're like, how my back hurting? And all I ate was a spinach wrap. Spinach wrap had gluten in it, and your ass still, you eating, that's what it was. That's what I mean. But anyways, so you have to do those things, Don't go out there and do as you so please. I always give my caution tape, my yellow tape. Do as you so please. But life is meant to be experienced. Mistakes are meant to happen in order for you to have success. I'm not saying you are supposed to fall on your ass. No, 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 no. Please don't take it that way. Because a lot of people think, man, if I ain't never slept in my car, you don't know what struggle is. Hold up. Everybody ain't got to experience homelessness to know what failure is. Stop. Let's stop that right there, because I keep hearing like, oh man, this person ain't never slept in the car. They don't know what struggle is. Nah, but this person wasn't able to pay their light bill. This person had to go through months with just eating noodles. They didn't have to actually be homeless to understand struggle. Everyone struggles in a different way. Some people just have emotional struggles. Some people just have mental struggles. And my whole point is, you can't compare your struggle to someone else's struggle, because it may not hit them the same way. You see what I'm saying? Some people can be homeless and sleep in their car and still be thriving and happy, and you will never know. But they can't handle being yelled at, but they can handle sleeping in their car. You see what I'm saying? You can't compare someone's struggle. Just don't do that. Whatever is meant for you to experience and for you to grow and for you to learn from, that's on you. And I think when a lot of us step back and realize that, and I'm like, okay, and you have compassion for what this person is going through, even though, okay, if I was in this situation, we all do that. Well, if I was in this situation, this is how I would handle it. You're not them, and they're not you. You're not them, and they're not you. You see what I'm saying? All you can do is, someone comes to you for advice or for healing or just to talk to, is be there. And if you don't want to be there, say it. Or just don't answer the motherfucking phone. Because you're like, I'm not equipped to handle this, or I don't want to hear the shit. Okay. Either you're going to miss the lesson in how you can handle to be more compassionate with other people, or it's not meant, good morning, or it's just not meant for you to be that person that person needs to lean on, because that person may throw all their worries onto you, and next thing you know, you feel like, oh my God, if this happens to me, what am I going to do? And then you go into survivor mode when you shouldn't have been in survivor mode in the first place, because it wasn't your failure. It was theirs. And a lot of time we have to understand that when we feel like we're being good friends and we're being good partners, and we're taking on other people's pain, that we're the best person in the world, when in actuality, you're harming yourself by taking on someone else's pain and always being there for someone. There's a difference between supportive and taking someone else's pain away and fixing their issue. And you got to learn the difference, because at the end of the day, you could be the person who can be harmed in that. You really can. You got to really protect yourself and put up boundaries. Not be guarded, because there's a difference. You know, guard is when you shut yourself off from people. You're not reachable. You're not obtainable. I give you an example. I have very strong boundaries, but you can still find a way to contact me. You can either text me or through social media or whatever. Am I going to answer it all the time? Probably not. But am I still reachable? Yes. You see what I'm saying? You have to put the energy out there as well. And when I say put the energy out there, not saying, oh, you can't talk to me because I'm this, and that, and I'm higher than you. No. Energetically, people know when you start raising your vibration, people know how to come at you, and people know how to approach you, and people know when not to cross you. You get to a moment and to a state in your life where you ain't got to keep cussing people out. People can already feel your confidence and the strength when they approach you to give you that respect without you having to demand it. It will naturally come. It will. But you got to take that time to heal and surrender and the trust. You do. You do. And there's no time limit on it. And if you do want to put a time limit on it, life goes into a cycle of 9. 1 through 9. It does. Look up the numerology. You got the number 88, which breaks down 8 plus 8, 16, which breaks down to 7, which is divine, which is abundance. But when you talk about the number 8, you're talking about infinity. The little infinity sign. You know what I'm talking about? But then you got the number 10 here, which is completion, when we're talking about karmic completion. But in order to get to karmic completion and surrender, you got to put in the work. And you got to let the divine step in, because abundance comes after you do the healing work. Because 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay? 12 breaks down to a 3. 3 is allowing the divine God to step in. First, you're allowing it. Then you got to trust it with the number 7. Then with the 8, you got to put in the work and believe and trust and also do your part. The number 10, you surrender it, karmic completion, and it's done. There's levels to this. And once you understand that and stop putting those time limits on things, and there's nothing wrong with doing the 21-day challenge or 30. I do them all the time. There's nothing wrong with it. But do you trust that at the end of that 21-day challenge, that 30-day challenge, that the expectation that you set for yourself may not be the outcome that you expected, but you may have achieved something else out of that. You may have achieved another level of discipline. No, you didn't lose the 20 pounds, but you now disciplined yourself enough and trusted yourself enough that you can stick to something and you can complete it. You see what I'm saying? So it's like having realistic expectations. Oh, I'm going to do this 21-day challenge and I'm going to lose 20 pounds. 21 days come up, you done lost 2 pounds. However, you stuck to the daily routine. You stuck to the meal plan. You worked out every day. And now this is a natural part of your life. No, you didn't lose that expected 20 pounds in those 21 days, but you did discipline yourself. And you shown yourself, I can complete this. I can do this. And then guess what? You keep going. That's what it's about. That's what the healing journey is about. That is what it's about. Okay? So that is your Saturday morning message. I finally caught you live. Oh, my favorite. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yes, so that's what it is about. And I just wanted to really explain that to you guys. That's karmic completion. You know, that's what it is. Not having the, oh, I got 20 G's in my bank account. Okay, but guess what? You sat there, you wanted to save $20,000 in your bank account, but you didn't have a reason. So next thing you know, your car breaks down. You got to go buy a whole new car. So that $20,000 you saved, you got to go buy a whole new car. You should have had a goal set with that $20,000 you decided to save. Like, okay, with this $20,000, I'm going to go back to school. And then I want to save the rest of it for going on vacation or something, whatever. Or just to have it as a safety net. But you got to be careful with those safety nets. Because you're like, oh, I want a safety net. And God's like, all right, you want a safety net? Let me destroy some shit so you can use this said safety net. And I'm not saying don't save money. That's not what I'm saying. Is like, but have a purpose for it. What is the purpose? What is the purpose? Is the purpose for you saving this $20,000 just to say you have $20,000? Or is it for you to extend your education, or to buy a home, or to leave it to your children? That's what I'm saying. So let's say, you putting money away. You're not saying to yourself, I'm putting this money away so I can create generational wealth. That's a purpose too. And that way, all those unexpected life events that happen and take away your savings, you're stopping that. You got to work with the divine. You got to put out what you really want to manifest. You want to create generational wealth? Stop saying, oh, I got a safety net. No, this savings account is for me to leave to my children. Not for, oh, it's a safety net. Because if it's a safety net, guess what? Your whole net, your roof on your house is going to fall. And now that safety net is gone. And now you don't have generational wealth. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be really, really intentional with what you're doing. You do. And surrender to the process. It takes a long time to get there. And it's aggravating as hell. I'm not even going to lie to you. It fucking sucks sometimes. It does. Because when you get paid, you like, man, it's so much I can do with this money. But it's like, I want to create generational wealth as well. I want to go back to school. I want to buy a house cash so I can have a house to leave to my kids and all that. And it can be a generational house. Got to be intentional, I'm telling you guys this from experience, because it's been many a times I've had lump sums of money just fell out my ass. And now it's to the point where I'm so intentional. It's intentional what I'm doing. That I'm like, I get mad at myself like, bitch, you should have been doing this shit the whole time. But it takes mistakes. It takes living life to appreciate it, to be grateful, and to just prosper and evolve. I don't want to talk to I always tell people, like, if you ain't been through shit, I don't want to talk to you. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about, if you ain't so just, if you ain't been, I ain't talking about that. Because people be like, oh, well, he ain't been to jail, or they ain't so just, they ain't be homeless, they don't know what's going on. I'm talking about the people who sat out. I want to talk to somebody, sat in front of your job in the car, and you just boo-hoo cry because you hate this job so much. But you got to go inside because you got to pay rent, you got to pay daycare, you got to pay light. I'm talking about those people who have felt those emotions. Not your particular situation, because we all been through different shits. I'm talking about those people who felt the emotions like, God damn it, I just can't wait to get to the next level. I know, but I also know I got to work to get to the next level. Those people is what I'm talking about. The ones who have felt that. Because we all have not been through the same thing. And I pray that we all don't go through the same thing. Who the hell wants everyone to experience a day in jail? Not me. No. Who wants people to experience homeless? Not me. I do not wish that on anyone. I'm talking about you feeling that feeling. Like, we really have to open up our hearts and our minds, really, people, and see the whole perspective. Have you ever had that feeling? You're sitting, you just going through life like, man, when is the change gonna come, man? God, what is it that I have to do to get me out of this situation? And just break. And then you have that breaking moment, and you get that aha moment like, okay, if I start changing this, if I incorporate this, it could be something as simple like, I'm going to start incorporating water into my daily routine. So that way, every time I go to the bathroom, because every time you go to the bathroom and you do a number one, that's a release of energy. That's a release of stress. And that's something you can practice too. Waking up, drink your water, drink water consistently, a cup of water every hour of the day, then go to the bathroom. That you're releasing stress and worry from you. Every time you go to the bathroom, it's a release. Thank you so much to Millie who taught me that. It's a release. It's little things like that that help you to surrender. Stop thinking it got to be this big ass, oh, I got to go do this. I got to cut everything out. Do it gradually. Gradual steps. Now, do as you so please. But stop thinking you got to do shit cold turkey, cold turkey, cold. Now, if God tells you cold turkey, you need to stop smoking cold turkey, then do that. But do it because you were led to, not because society says, this is how you're supposed to do it and this is how you're supposed to heal. Do what's right for you. For me, it's gradual progress. Has worked for me. It is a proven fact. It's worked for me. But you got to figure out what works for you. I get on here and I share my experiences with you guys on how I go out through life because maybe you can resonate it. But you still have to put things into your life that just work for you. You do, but you got to try different shit to know what works. You got to stick your hand in the bowl with all the little papers in there. Pull something out. Be like, all right, I'm going to try this shit. Let's see what happened. Shit don't work. Throw out the piece of paper. Stick your hand in the bowl. Try again. That's life. And it's kind of fun. Kind of freaky. Kind of sucks. Going to make you upset. Going to make you frustrated. Going to make you happy. It's going to do all of that. But you lived. And you were here. And you stayed in the present. That's what matters. All right. So you guys, that has been your Saturday morning message. I hear my crumb snatcher's feet walking towards me. I hear them, guys. You guys stay blessed, stay safe, and stay protected. And I'm going to talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, collective.